Hi everyone. Hello. So I wanted to get on a little early before the Netflix reunion actually starts. The way this is gonna go is I'm just gonna sit here and watch it on my computer. I won't be able to show y'all much of the actual broadcast, but if you happen to be watching on your own Netflix, maybe you can have me on the side for a little delay, or if it's not working out, just come back after the broadcast ends and I will be here and we'll discuss. It'll be super hot takes, and that's exciting, I guess. But it'll be fun that at least it ends at one particular time. And if we're watching live, and we're here. But yeah, that's in general how it's gonna go. I think I fixed my audio issues finally for good. I hope. Y'all have no idea. Like, there's like 4 or 5 places where I can adjust the volume on this thing, and I finally found one hidden volume setting. Oh my god, there's an ant on my screen. Ew. How did that get there? So yeah, found the secret setting for a loud mic, hopefully. And now I know where it is. So hopefully audio is a little better than the past couple streams, because that's been a bit of a struggle. And I'll be on mute during the reunion, because I feel like with the delay, if I scream at something, it'll be something like 10 seconds ago. So I'll just be chilling here on mute, reacting a little bit. I think the reunion starts like at 7 p.m. my time in 9 minutes. Yeah, 9 minutes. And I just hope it works. I'm really, really scared, to be honest, that Netflix is like servers, I don't know the term, won't be able to handle us all like last time. I'm a little scarred, but hopefully it works, because my whole stream hinges on their broadcast starting correctly and working for all of us. So we'll see. If not, I guess I'll just hang out. I don't know. But yeah, exciting. I already saw some clips of the reunion on Instagram, and JP being JP, and I already know I'm gonna be so annoyed by him. But yeah, let me go ahead and roll the intro as well. Thanks so much for being here. Y'all are the early worms today. Welcome back to the Miscellaneous channel, where we do miscellaneous things. I'm Zeleny. I typically cover TV, pop culture, internet trends, and other miscellaneous things on this channel, so subscribe if that's your vibe. Oh my god, I actually did it. I keep forgetting to actually say the intro. I just roll the card and then not even introduce myself. So rude. Love y'all. Y'all's chats. I'm scared. This better work. I was so betrayed last time. It took like hours. Like and like I said in the last one, like I ended up watching it on TikTok, but it was after like hours of just trying to get into the broadcast. Got it. But yeah, settle in, because we're about to be here for a minute. Grab a snack. I already had a snack. I had a smoothie before this, and I'm probably going to eat dinner after the stream. Going for full pink vibes today. I wanted to bring a snack to the stream, but I didn't know. I didn't have anything cute enough for camera. Yeah. Yeah, I just hope they can manage like just a lot of people at one time. I hope they've figured it out. And I don't know. And yeah, I don't know if anyone in the chat knows when they filmed this reunion. I have no idea. I feel like normally we hear about it, but this time I didn't hear any timelines. I worry if it's so long ago, we won't get some answers that are more from recent, like fan questions. Oh, really? Super recent, last week? That's cool. I just feel like the season filmed so much like longer ago than usual, but I feel like they just batch filmed these seasons. I don't really know. I'm so scared. I'm refreshing. Oh, let me I'm gonna mute my desktop audio so no Netflix audio comes through. Sorry. I was also thinking like maybe a teleparty would be cool. If y'all know of that, it's like a plugin for your browser where you can, if people have their own Netflix accounts, you can watch the same thing together. But I think with the delay, it would still have issues on stream. Like, it might be a cool thing to try at some point for something else that's not like being a live broadcast. Because the cool thing about a teleparty thing is you can like pause, or like I could pause and we can talk. I don't know. But it's just too complicated. This whole copyright thing is so complicated. And I am thinking next Thursday evening for part 2 of the Love is Blind game, which will be just cozy, chill vibes. My heart is like racing I'm looking at just the episode. Actually, I can actually show that probably. I'm like looking at the reunion grayed out. I should get music for my streams. That's something I've been thinking about. Because every streamer I watch has music, but I have to buy a whole thingy for it, like a library, for it to be cute. Oh my god, 2 more minutes. Here to defend JP. It's supposed to be in 2 minutes. Whatever time zone you're in. As far as I know. I don't necessarily trust Netflix, though. I do need headphones. Just realized. Yeah, I'm wondering how Vanessa's gonna handle this whole reunion. Like, is she gonna ask about babies? Is she gonna listen to feedback? Is she gonna go hard on these guys? Okay, it's time apparently. Oh. Alright, I am in and I just started. If you're watching along, just started the broadcast. I'm gonna mute. Oh, and I will be taking notes. So Hi everyone, I'm back. I'll give y'all a minute to wrap up your streams. 8 minutes left. Yeah, I'll give y'all a moment to collect yourselves, refill your teas, I don't know. Get a snack. That was interesting. Very interesting. Some shocking things. Let me get rid of my text here. Oh. We did it. Finally, we can say we wrapped season 5 together. Let's get some cups in the chat. We finished. We did it. Yeah, JP was trying me, for sure. I feel like, yeah, Stacy's song choice was, I think she was being purposely ironic with Love Don't Cost a Thing. Here, since y'all are still finishing up your streams, I'm gonna attempt to insert an ad. I've never done that before, so just kind of practicing live stream here. Let me know if you got an ad and what it was. Also, timestamp. How do real streamers do timestamps? Do y'all know? Like, there's a way to do it. I mean, it's fine. I'll look it up. But oh, cool. Yeah, crazy season. One of the wildest. I gave it thought, and I do think this is my number 5 ranked season. Like, worst one. Congratulations to season 2 no longer being the worst season for me. But yeah, the Lachey's did great. A lot of y'all were saying, yeah, they took feedback, I feel like, and were a lot more careful. They did not ask anyone about babies, right? I think that's big for them. And they were asking good questions, like answers we wanted to know. They were being nosy when people, because everyone was giving vague answers and they had to be pried out. But they didn't like get aggressive or too lectury this season compared to other seasons. Taylor and Aaliyah, yeah. They look so good. I love them. Wow, Jules, this is your number 1 season? You just really like mess. I was so excited for Houston, and it got way less episodes. Less episodes, period, of Houston. They wondered they didn't get a wedding invite. I think I missed that. The Shays wondered. Yeah, in other international seasons, the hosts usually show up to the wedding, I think. Or at least the wedding prep. But I don't think American Love is Blind has ever done that, I think. And yeah, also no bachelor parties, no bachelorette parties this season. I forgot to mention that in the finale stream, but that was like that is one of the cut kind of episodes, I feel like, this season, because most other seasons have 12 episodes, and this one had 10, something like that. Oh, I'm just trying to see other seasons here. Maybe not, actually. All the other ones, season 1 had 11 episodes. I think it had the same amount of episodes. That's weird. It felt like less for sure. So that was incorrect. Yeah, I think I don't mind the bachelor parties. I feel like they do feel very fake because they feel very like producer created, since like only pod people go, when in real life, people invite their actual friends to the bachelor. Other friends show up, but like in real life, you as one bride or groom get to like plan your own bachelorette party, and they make in Love is Blind make them do it as a group, and I doubt they have that much control over what they're doing. Kind of similar to also whatever party they make up for after the altar. So it feels fake, but I don't mind the bachelorette parties because sometimes they get really messy and a lot of people get really drunk, and it can be kind of funny. It's led to some funny moments in past seasons. But maybe, I bet in this season they couldn't cut Renee out very easily from the Bachelorettes. Yeah, let's go ahead and dive in to each segment. I just wrote down every segment we went through, and we can just talk about each one. First, we talked about, or they touched on the one couple we have from this season, Milton and Lydia, who are still married, still seem very happy. Lydia really got the last laugh, I feel like, this whole season, because she had all that drama with Uche only to get this very loyal man who defends her and all these things. Like, yeah, like Milton felt so matured. Maybe he like, how they say when you turn 25 your like brain finishes developing? I feel like he like crossed that point and like he's good now. I don't know. I don't really know because we didn't get to see him much, like, aside from like the reunion format is different than seeing people in their daily lives, but still, like, Milton had some great moments this reunion. And also, yeah, like them as a couple, they seem really strong. He said he doesn't work late anymore due to her influence. And also Lydia solved all of Milton's family problems apparently and like softened them up. She was really close to the mom. So it's shocking. That's the biggest shock. But that's awesome. Like once a couple's like happy and seem like they've stabilized, I'm like, okay, even if I didn't root for them during the season, I never want to prey on someone's downfall, aside from maybe couples that have really concerned me in the past. Like, I don't want to name names, but Matt and Colleen. But everyone else, I mean, it's fine. Everyone seems fine, and they say they're happy, so I should just believe them. But Milton and Lydia seem really in a good place, seem really cute at the reunion. Like it's been a year and a half, they said, between them, and I don't know. For me, the proof is in the pudding, and I just accept it at a certain point. Yeah, they went to Puerto Rico. Oh, Nick and Vanessa Lachey gave them a geode as a gift of like a rock, but no baby gifts, because in past seasons they always gift married couples like a baby cup that says Love is Blind on it, or like a baby onesie. So that was nice. They like did something for their personality that does not put implied pressure to have children. I think they've learned their lesson. I bet they get so much hate for that. And they asked the question more generically. They said like, so do you have any plans for the immediate future? And that's where if they had plans for babies, they would say it, but they didn't. So I think that's a better way to ask it, because if someone is planning for a baby, that's probably the opportunity to say it. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'll just keep it to Milton and Lydia and keep talking about their moments, because that was just at the beginning. We got their recap and then we moved on to a different segment. But later on, when Aaliyah came in to talk about their whole drama, Milton had a really kind moment of defending Lydia. And it felt like very much a defense speech for us, the audience, especially, not just like to Aaliyah or to the Lachey's. Milton, I feel like, was very like wanting to clear Lydia's name. I feel like he probably sees the hate firsthand, and it's probably a lot. But yeah, I guess let's get into the Aaliyah segment, and then we'll circle back to Stacey and Izzy, John and Chris, and them. Sorry, going a little out of order here. But yeah, so the Aaliyah segment came in like midway through the episode, and they brought Aaliyah in. They did not bring Uche. Apparently he was invited, but did not want to show up. I feel like he knew he would probably get hounded, I guess. I'm a little surprised, actually, because I thought Uche would love more camera time, to be honest. But, like, also, I'm sure he knew, like, he was about to get from all angles. None of the cast seems to like him very much, or at all. The Lachey's don't think highly of him. The audience doesn't like him very much. So I think he knew it'd be hard to like dig himself out of that. And yeah, so they talked first about the Aaliyah and Lydia relationship when they brought out Aaliyah. And Lydia defends her side of things, because Aaliyah first tells her like, oh, you broke my boundary, right? She said something like that. Overstepped her boundaries. And they played like all the footage of them, but Lydia just says she didn't read the room well, but had good intentions. She was just like very relieved once Aaliyah did find out that everything just spilled out. She says that's how she is with her friends, and like she just likes to give all the details. But Aaliyah still feels like she didn't get the full experience, and I feel like that's what Aaliyah's issue was. Like, I don't think she's there for screen time or cares about Uche at this point that much. But she did get cheated of like the experience, and I bet when they get cast they spend so much time like preparing. I bet they have these high hopes, and it's just like when you're in a game and like someone breaks the rules and then it fucks up the whole thing. I don't know. Kind of like that. It's just like she just got caught in the crossfire of like an unprecedented thing in the show, but like she dodged a bullet. She's happy now. She said she's in a relationship of 1 year, and we got some interesting information about producer stuff. There's a lot of producer stuff, and I remember back in part 1 of my video, someone did comment that like producers forced Lydia and Uche to stay quiet about each other. So that was like, I guess, tea that was circling around, and they confirmed it at the reunion, and said that the producers' immediate thought was to send them both home. But they decided to let them stay if they agreed not to reveal their past to other contestants. And the Lachey's kind of asked the cast what they think about that, and should they have told everyone earlier? Should they have sent them home? Like, the Lachey's are just asking the cast kind of like, what is your opinion? What should we have done? And no one agreed to send them home. Everyone said, no, let them stay because they're both looking for love. They both have good other connections. And yeah, like with Lydia having the only successful marriage, it's kind of like, well, why would you say you would send her home? Because she found her marriage. Like, if Lydia had been sent home, she would have been robbed of that opportunity. Yeah, so the producer thing was in an article a few weeks ago. Oh, sorry y'all, my light died up there again. My secondary light. Oh, wasn't there a podcast where other seasons cast said, yeah, I've had friends or people I've known in the past in the pods. I wonder, I mean, the Lachey said it's the first time it's happened. I always wonder because they are in the same city. They're all kind of same age range, eligible singles. You'd think people would have run into each other. And yeah, so even Aaliyah said like, no, it's good you didn't send them home. I don't agree they should send them home. I do think she's just kind of like, well, she got married. Like, it'd be rude to say we should have sent her home. But even Aaliyah said like she would have preferred to learn about their past earlier. So she kind of turned it on the producers and was like, actually, I would have just liked to know, because then she would have distanced herself from Lydia. And that kind of makes sense because her and Lydia were so tight, and Lydia smothered her quite a lot. So I think it would have made sense, and she could have distanced herself way earlier before they had like a strong bond, even though it was a very quick, strong bond that they built. Forget the trolley problem. This is a new thought experiment, right? I don't know what the right thing to do is. But yeah, poor Aaliyah. I think she just got caught in this crossfire, and she seemed kind of upset, and I feel like I empathize, or it makes sense, like, to be upset that was your experience and it didn't get to be genuine. She also mentioned her and Uche dated. They tried dating in the real world afterwards. Uche and B, the way okay, they get to the part where they talk about Uche's text messages, and that's even that was so shady. It's when Milton starts defending Lydia and kind of throws Uche under the bus. He talks more about the pods, which we didn't see this much, but that Uche was weirdly obsessed with his relationship with Lydia. So while Aaliyah was dealing with weird stuff with Lydia on the girl side, Milton was dealing with weird Uche stuff as well, which they didn't air as much in the final edit. So apparently Uche was weirdly obsessed. Oh, I lost my note. Also, later on, when they're at the party and stuff, like giving him unwarranted info about Lydia, the screenshot thing, like Milton was just not into Uche wanting to trash Lydia so much. And yeah, Milton was getting like all the girls crying. Even Vanessa was crying, but even Stacy looked like she was tearing up about Milton defending Lydia and just kind of like showing what kind of person Uche was. Also, so they explained this moment which I hadn't realized before. There's a moment where Milton shows Lydia his phone, and apparently it was some sort of safe word they had established, safe word emoji, because we're Gen Z over here. And Lydia and Milton had agreed on the safe word emoji if they needed to get out of there, and Milton did it in that when they were talking to Uche together, and that's how he knew, or he gave it to Lydia, I think, saying like, we should get out of here. So that was cute, and that was also like, wow, Milton, that's a really useful code to have, especially with such a weird situation where like reality TV is exploiting you. It's good to probably have a exit strategy when you're probably going to be set up with people you don't like, and Milton kind of alluded to that. Yeah, maybe they should have just sent Uche home. I mean, he had the connection with Aaliyah, I guess, that was going. But yeah, this made it really, really complicated. And then they talked about, Uche and his texts. Apparently, when Aaliyah and Uche started dating afterwards, at a certain point, Aaliyah heard that from the other cast that Uche had said she wasn't the type of woman he found attractive generally. Which, like, the audacity to say that about Aaliyah, who is gorgeous and looks like a Barbie, like, it's just like, ew, Uche. Like, that was so annoying. And, like, other contestants talk about so Izzy says that Uche was talking shit about him in the pods. And of course, Izzy just cares about what people say about him. Then he gets heated. So Izzy spoke up about not being a fan of Uche. And that most of all the other guys were respectful of each other, like not talking shit about each other. But Uche was talking shit about Izzy to the girls in the pods. And obviously Izzy doesn't like that. And then there's this other text. Uche texted Lydia when the show was going to drop and said like, oh, if there's anything you see on the show that you want to discuss, just reach out and I'm willing to talk. And then Aaliyah speaks up and says, I got the exact same text. So he copy pasted and confirmed. And then for Milton, Uche texted him on his wedding day when Milton and Lydia got married and like asked him if he wanted to talk about his wedding, like, and how it went and stuff. And Milton just says he does not respond, that Uche occasionally reaches out via text, and Milton just ignores it, which I think is the best approach here. Yeah, Uche just wants to have conversations. But I'm glad. I don't know. Am I glad? I think I'm glad he wasn't at the reunion. I feel like he would have been chiming in about everything, thinking, he's the one and only expert on healthy communication for relationships. And even the Lachey's praised Milton for how he handled Uche at the party, that they were rooting for him. I feel like the Lachey's sort of keep it neutral. I mean, no, I guess they get mad at contestants and like lecture them and stuff in the past, but they praised Milton. I guess they also praise people. Yeah, I guess they're not so unbiased. They play it a little emotional in their hosting role. But they praised Milton. That was the only big praise I feel like they gave for how he handled. I think that was like one of those key moments of the season when Milton swerved all of Uche trying to taint Lydia's reputation to him. It was just funny, like even without Uche being there, it was just like eye roll city. And I was just like, oh my god. That's probably when I was cringing, was some of Uche's stuff, and then probably some JP stuff too. That's when I was cringing the most. Yeah, Lachey is, I think, a host pretty biasly. But they did a better job just in general keeping their cool. But yeah, anything else on Lydia and Milton and or Uche and Aaliyah? I think I'm happy for them. I'm glad. I really was expecting some sort of breakup or divorce announcement just because I wasn't totally sold on that couple and they seem to have issues, but I don't know. Milton did good, and he seemed like more mature, more together this episode. He did talk about like how he pretended to be like really goofy to the boys, but that wasn't his real self, and Lydia saw through it, and that was part of their initial connection. Yeah, now I can't really find that note about that. But yeah, like Milton did good. Good for him. We can move on to Stacy and Izzy and the Chris and Johnny, which, yeah, it feels like two camps of webs of relationships. I think it's very telling that like the cast does not get along with Uche like at all. They don't seem to like him. They don't keep in contact with him. While Lydia, they do keep in contact with, and seem friendly with and everything. It seems. I mean, I guess it wasn't explicit, but I feel like when the cast really is, because they see it more than we do. They see more. Yeah, I'm glad Aaliyah got closure. I think that was good. She seemed fine. She was gorge. Serving, as always. What was there's one more thing. Oh, Lydia did discuss the ominous comment she made at the beginning of the season with the girls. and how she was like, I feel like I'm gonna run into someone from my past here, and that whole thing, they addressed that at the reunion, because apparently there was a one-on-one conversation between Aaliyah and Lydia off camera where Lydia mentioned her and Uche had discussed coming on the show. But at the reunion, Lydia says, well, we just mentioned it for 2 seconds in November of 2021, and that they both said, like, oh, maybe we should apply. So it was just like a fleeting, casual conversation, and that she never had confirmation that he would be on the show. And that, like, when she had that feeling when she came in, it was just real intuition. Real intuition. But I don't know. I don't know what to believe with her on that front. I mean, I think she doesn't care about Uche, or she didn't care about him after the pods or anything, but we don't know why she came on the show, I guess. But she's happy now, so she has the last laugh. I don't know. Yeah, maybe the fake comment came from that, 2-second conversation they had about maybe applying. That's true. Okay, so they never talked about it when they were, 3 months before filming, when they reconnected for intimacy. I don't know how to say it cleanly, but I do think when someone's like cast on a reality show in your life, I feel like you be telling people, even if you have like NDAs. And Lydia's not gonna sit there and be like, yeah, we told each other just because we know each other in real life, and you tell people. I don't know. I feel like people just tell people they're close to. Yeah, when Lydia had a new man, she didn't care anymore. I think that's the true tea. Yeah. Yeah, I don't buy it completely, I'm sure. Or I feel like they might have known or something, but it doesn't matter, I guess, anymore. Because she's married and he's just sending people unsolicited texts. Yeah, it was always bizarre to me that he didn't recognize her voice, allegedly, if they were hooking up 3 months before. Like, and also, once he explained their relationship, it was like, we were on, then we were off, then we went back, and she knew all this stuff, that the stuff she was telling Aaliyah, so it's like, y'all had a whole ass relationship. It didn't sound like just one date or something. It's bizarre to not recognize her voice, if you've been that intimate. Well, I guess we'll move on to Stacy and Izzy. We can still talk about whatever, but yay! Welcome on in if you've joined post reunion. We had fun quietly watching on our own TVs. So Stacy and Izzy, I don't know. Was Izzy drunk again? I was not. I couldn't make up my mind. He wasn't slurring as much as before, but now I'm like, is that just how he talks? I don't know. It might just be how he talks. I don't think we'll ever get closure on anything Uche talked about, because it's just too complicated. But yeah, Stacey and Izzy, so they are no longer together. They did not date afterwards, ? Then they did at some point, I think. I was trying to follow, and it was a little bit confusing. They talk a little bit about the kiss at the altar they had that was weird after she rejected him, that I think was just like confusion in the moment. They also talk about the finances between like just have the conversation about what the issue was. And they are still kind of arguing about whether, like, that timing of it all. Nick tried to press Izzy a bit on that and be like, hey, you had all this time to talk about finances, yet you didn't bring it up. And Izzy doubles down, and it's just like, it was just not the right time, and it just didn't come up in the pods. And then Stacy's like, yes, it did come up in the pods, and you said you were fine financially. And he's like, well, I don't have debt, but I had a bad credit score. And Nick and Vanessa keep trying to press him of like, are you sure it's not just because you felt pressure because Stacy's family is well off and all that? And he was like, he admitted he did feel a little bit scared about all that, but that's not the full reason, and doubles down that he just never found the right time to talk about his financial troubles. I also saw like an article Stacy gave about the finances thing and saying no to Izzy at the altar, and she mentioned that it wasn't just the credit score, it was like he couldn't explain his job very well and the pay structure. And remember, he talked about it's like a new job, and the way he was getting paid was strange, or like he didn't have benefits as part of it. And I guess she was just looking for definitely more stability in the finances department, even though she was bratty at times. She just said there were other confusing things with regards to like finances behind Izzy. And yeah, I just think it was shady he didn't like admit or just be like, yeah, I should have brought it up sooner. He's just like, no, it never came up. And it's like, it did come up. And he also talked about it with other people at the pods. Okay, so after that conversation, Stacy says they did not date after the wedding. They met up like a week after, but then she wasn't really feeling it, I think. And he thought they were really going to give it a try. So he was very betrayed that she wasn't feeling it as much 1 week after, and that she couldn't date right now, something like that. And then after that, they didn't talk for a whole year. She says she like wanted to start over, but that was like a problem for him, and that was kind of the disconnect between each other. But then they reconnected when they ran into each other a year later when they were out at a bar or something, or somewhere. Stacy is in a relationship, she mentioned, and Izzy is kind of seeing someone. I feel like he's just back to being a player. I don't know, because he seemed very casual about his dating life. Yeah, it was sad news to hear. I think it was his father who passed away, Izzy's father, and I think Stacy tried to reach out, but it was too soon and he wasn't ready to reconnect. But that's yeah, so I was confused because I thought they made it really clear they never dated after the wedding, but I guess they never said never. And after they ran into each other a year later, they did start dating. Right? Yeah, Stacy ran into him while she was with her family, and he hugged her, and they were like on better terms at that point. They still have like a strong bond from going through the experiment. I do agree, probably going through something like this, probably like some sort of brand of trauma bond. And after they saw each other, they hung out a couple times, meaning hooked up. They said they rekindled and kissed, but nothing else, and now they're bros, which I was like, oh God, I hate that. And y'all are mentioning he was touching her legs so much. I felt like it was very like possessive, or like I feel like it's a physical boundary. You don't touch your bro's leg like that. I don't think, unless you do. I guess I don't know. So they also talk about this like funny story and instance where they were both on a date with different people, and they took their dates to a cooking class at like probably one of these like Williams Sonoma or one of those is what I was picturing, where they have classes in the back. But they were both on a date, and they ended up at the same cooking class, and they were just like shocked and embarrassed with their dates. But and also in the class they got seated together, just randomly, and that they just it was just a memorable, awkward night. But it sounds like Stacy is dating that person long term. She actually said no comment when Nick asked, but it was implied that she's with this person long term. And then Izzy is seeing the cooking class girl casually, it sounded like. And yeah, now they're just friends and they give each other dating advice. I don't know. Seems like a slippery situation. Easy to slip into. I don't know. I think I'm more of like a clean break person, but to each their own. Yeah, giving friends with benefits, that's an interesting theory. And yeah, I could see, that's what I mean by slippery. Like you could easily go back and forth when you might not want to open cans of worms like that. But if she's seeing someone seriously, maybe not anymore. They're not so. But yeah, so that was like all of the information on Stacy and Izzy. But for their segments, they also brought out Chris and Johnny to talk about their larger web there. And that got kind of juicy. I was a little bit shook by that one. Because, so like we predicted or had heard somewhere on Reddit, Chris and Johnny are no longer together. He is in a committed long-term relationship that he lives with. I'm assuming this is a woman everyone was seeing on his Instagram and wondering like, who the hell is this? Because it's not Johnny. But Chris ended up being like the surprising fuckboy. I don't know. That's probably too strong of a word, but like the surprise bad boy. Because he was such a like nice guy through the season, and so like positive, and so like lovable, adorable, nerdy, whatever. But the way he handled the Johnny relationship was so bad and so awkward. Like, he cheated straight up. He's a cheater. It's always the nicest guys end up being the cheaters on this show, I swear. But yeah, so apparently after that party where we saw them fight and all of that, not them two, but everyone else fighting at each other, she just didn't see him for a couple of weeks. Like, she lost track of him. Lost track of him. And, like, the following week after that, she learns somehow that he is dating somebody else. Like, he never broke up with her, and he's just dating someone else at a certain point. Which I'm like, is Chris a clout chaser? Like, is this the evidence? Um, do y'all think that? Because it feels like he's just. And sometimes I was wondering with the Johnny relationship, I was like, is he just like playing into this to like be on the show and just, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what he gains if he's like trying to be a particular brand of influencer or what his job is. Like, I don't remember all that, but um, it's just so, it was so weird. I was like, what? It's like the vibe of like when you have a job and they just stop calling you in, like, and instead of firing you, which happened to me when I was a teen at a pizza place that I worked. So it's a very personal example, but it happens. And it's just like they just stopped calling me. And I just assumed I was fired at some point. And at some point, I just went and collected my last check. But it was like that. It was just like he just ditched her, ghosted her after that party, and debuted some other girlfriend and didn't really seem sorry about it because he's so happy with this girl who accepts him. He seemed to be crying real tears for Johnny. I mean, I think in the pods they had a really strong connection, but afterwards maybe he just, I don't know. I don't know what's going through his head because we didn't get many answers. He just said like he's stressed. That's a point where I was laughing a lot. That was, I think Chris is like trying to explain himself for cheating and ghosting. Because he's like, oh, I always defend the ones I love. And then Vanessa's like, well, but do you cheat on the ones you love as well? That was a good one for Vanessa. I liked that. And Chris just kind of says like he avoids conflict, and that was his excuse. Oh my God, this man. I never thought Chris would be like the villain of the reunion, but here it is. And he's in a relationship. Also, Johnny's in a relationship. I think the Johnny stuff, like, I'm so over that drama. Like, who cares who said what? It's very like she said, he said. I mean, I guess not, because Stacey and Izzy were super out of pocket. And Izzy actually apologized to her, sort of. Well, no, he started and it was almost there, and it was like, I'm so sorry, like, that was out of character, I yelled at you, and he, like, apologized, but then he's like, but I'm not sorry about whatever, what is he not sorry about? Looking through my notes. Oh, he says he doesn't apologize for saying the truth, just that the delivery could be better. So he remains that, like, whatever he was saying was the truth, bad delivery. That might be fair. Some of the stuff was truth, but it becomes really hypocritical in a second here. Because then this was like the juiciest tea, I feel like, from the reunion. And they talk about how they were at some sort of bar. They ran into each other. All the cast was getting together at a bar casually, not like all of the cast, so some of the cast. And at a certain point, well, Johnny and Izzy reconnected first at the bar. They talked for an hour, but they did not attempt a relationship after that. It didn't work out. It was too soon after all the dramas, especially Izzy being fully engaged to Stacey, not over that, allegedly. But after much prying from Vanessa, which, thank you, Vanessa, for that one, they admit that they kissed, but that they did not do anything beyond kissing in Izzy's Jeep. apparently. Which I'm like, girl, Johnny, after everything we've been through here, this man and his ex-fiance bullied you. Why? Why? Girl. She said, my biggest enemy is me. There's a lot of Izzy quotes that did not get like replayed or talked about by the Lachey's, like the why she's still 33 and single, someone mentioned earlier, and then also this Jules is saying why Johnny and Stacy fighting turned him on so much and all that. So they went pretty easy on Izzy. Easy on Izzy. And Stacy and Johnny were still bickering quite a bit during the reunion. I feel like I need to watch again to even see what they were saying. But Stacy was still being really petty. Like when they talked about the kiss between Johnny and Izzy, Stacy was like, I'm surprised, I'm shocked, but I guess it's a reflection of him. Like, basically just saying Izzy is shit for hooking up with, like, a shitty person. Which it is a little strange. And the hypocrisy of it all is truly that Izzy spent all this time defending why he was so rude to Johnny. It was to protect Chris. But he goes and makes out with Chris's recent ex, Johnny, soon after their breakup. So it's like, what happened to protecting your bro over here? And that's just the truth. It wasn't about protecting Chris ever. I feel like that solidifies it for sure. I hate when people say that's not me, it was you. That's true. I guess it was. But yeah, like, but Johnny, why are you kissing him too? Like, Jesus, everybody stop it. And Chris was present at the bar situation where Johnny and Izzy reconnected, as well as Lydia and Milton. So, like, it was in front of his face. And he was very like, I don't care, because he was cheating or whatever. So, he didn't care. But yeah, Stacy stays petty to Johnny. Johnny stays firm. They just hate each other at this point. And everything they say, they like... don't... Like, they have no respect for each other. So they just try to get these little digs out at each other, even when it's not even relevant. Also, Stacy implied that, like, Izzy was already... I don't know if sleeping around or dating or something, like, really soon after their wedding. Which doesn't surprise me either. He's like the reformed playboy that's not ready to give it up, I think. I don't know. Based on those. And Nick explicitly called Izzy out for the hypocrisy of, like, protecting Chris and then making out with his ex immediately. Izzy, I don't think, had a great answer for that, because it was what it was. Anything else on Chris and Johnny or Stacy and Izzy? I think I've hit a lot of my notes. Everyone seems to be in a relationship of some sort, which is good for everybody. Hope it's all chill. Oh, okay. We have like we're missing somebody. Obviously, we're missing somebody. Taylor and JP. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. That's when I was cringing the most, visibly here, because it's just so cringe. Even just rewatching their love story was so cringe. I was like, I don't want to see this again. I did not want to see this again. They both admit it's very hard to watch. I mean, it's hard to watch for us. Like, damn. It's convenient. Everyone's in a relationship. I kind of agree. Some people I'm like, it's just like a better look to say. But I don't know. I feel like in their Instagrams, people are really public. So it's probably easy to corroborate if they are in relationships. But yeah, so JP, they try to talk to him, try to get him to form some sentences there. And he says it was harder to watch it than to live it even, which good, I guess. It should be hard because it was hard and it was awkward. And that he blames it on the cameras and that he's camera shy. He was confused what to do. But then he was also confused what to do when the cameras were gone. He's just like, do we just sit here? Like, you be a regular person. I don't know, you live. We're living here. Just do anything. And Taylor obviously is not buying it, and Nick and Vanessa are like, do you buy this excuse? And she's like, no, obviously not. And she is emotional about it still. I feel like it still gets to her. She seems like a really sensitive lady, but she's sad that she tried so hard and gave it a try. And they were bickering a lot during the reunion. I don't mind seeing it because I think Taylor can outwit JP as much as she needs to. Right. What does he do in his day-to-day life? Just sit there. He had his flag socks, of course. That's the only personality trait he has. And so Taylor believes he wasn't attracted to her from the moment he saw her, and also gave her no validation, then belittled her as we saw everything. And JP is like, sorry it came out wrong. I was just telling you you're beautiful without makeup. And it's like, no, that's not what you're doing. You were tearing down a woman's confidence just to uphold your strange little beliefs. Just sits there. I don't know what he has against beauty. And I don't think you can teach someone to like appreciate glamour. And I think someone in my comments mentioned like even a trad wife like cares about her looks, which I totally agree with that. Like, what do you want then? Like, I don't understand these type of men, and I can't pretend to. It's very far removed from my worldview. So it's very normal for an engagement moment in your life to be glammed and want to look your best. Taylor said that in their argument. Like, it's just I just hate anyone getting in the way of people's own like self-expression, how they present themselves to the world, especially when it takes effort and artistry. Like, also dressing up I feel like is a sign of caring about the situation and putting in effort. And yeah, like you expect a woman all dressed up for the reveal proposal to just have no makeup on, like on television. It makes no sense. But it is what it is. I think she dodged a bullet there. She was pretty, like, mad, and I was rooting for her. Say it all, girl. She does, like, forgive him, but I'm like, girl, you're being nice. Too nice. And Vanessa asked Taylor if, like, his appearance took a toll on her, because at the beginning she mentioned, like, she might have not gone for him in the real world. Milton gets in a little roast there because she was just grateful he was tall when they met, and Milton was like, he's tall? Question mark. But that guy is like 7 feet tall. And then, JP says Taylor looks like other women he's dated. But also, well, he says he wouldn't hit on her at a bar, also. But then he says he wouldn't hit on anyone at the bar because he makes his friends do that for him. Yeah, I think that I Forgive You is just like a good closure for the whole audience and for the whole thing, and just for it to be done. And she could probably just go be an influencer and not hear about JP as much, even though she'll still hear about him a lot probably. But she didn't mind his appearance. And yeah, I hate it was just so hard. Like, his face just seems emotionless, and I feel bad. I don't like commenting on people's looks that much. I think it gets superficial, or it's just like preferences too, but his eyes he's just like, I don't know what he's gonna do next. I'm scared when he's like on camera. Yeah, he can't approach a woman at all at a bar, which, I mean, some people are shy, sure, but it's like saying like, oh, my friends do it for me. I'm like, not my responsibility. I mean, but unfortunately for some women out there, unless, she sees a whole different side, which is possible, but apparently JP is in a year-long committed relationship as well, as is everybody here. And he said he's able to communicate with this new woman. Allegedly. We have no evidence necessarily aside from his own word. But I'm glad we're done. We're done with Taylor and JP. We're done with the season. I'm wondering in After the Altar, I don't even know what the After the Altar situation is going to be with this group, because there's only one couple. Usually we have a few. Vanessa should have asked, actually, if JP's new girlfriend wears makeup ever. We want to know. Maybe we'll see on social media. I mean, now, if he posts any photo of, or I don't know how active he is on social media at all, but if he posts any photo of a new girl with makeup, he's going to get his ass handed to him. I don't think we have an update on Uche and if he's seeing someone, because he didn't accept the invite to the reunion. So we can't get those answers. I wonder, do y'all know if Uche is like active? Oh. Sorry, my internet's being a little spotty tonight, so there's been some freezing here and there. But yeah, do y'all know if Uche is seeing someone on social media, posting anybody? Is he active? Trying to be an influencer? That's the thing I don't keep up with too well about these seasons, is the social media presences and all that. Uche did a podcast. Yeah, I don't want to hear Uche on a podcast. Oh my, he is so the type that would start a whole podcast though, of just himself talking, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, sorry my internet's a little bit, it's doing the thing. But we'll start wrapping up here. At the end, they did their little game that's like a newlywed game thing. They asked like questions to the cast and they show nothing big came out of that, I don't think. It was just funny. Some of the answers were funny. Like, everyone, they asked who would they hit on in the real world, and so many people said Chris, surprisingly. Not surprisingly, I guess, but like, he just seems so quiet and reserved. I feel like, I don't know, it's random. It felt kind of random to me. But even Milton said Chris. You could tell Milton and Chris are real bros. Because Chris said Milton as his answer for the question. And then one of the questions, which was shady, that was shady to Miriam, but they asked, what does Miriam do for work? And a lot of people actually got it right. I mean, she is a scientist. She sells stuff. She does skincare. She's an entrepreneur. Milton says she does everything. And someone said in the last video, like, she sells body butters, lotions. I think Johnny mentioned lotions. So not too big a mystery. I guess she has her information on Instagram. And then they just asked, like, what song sums up the experience? And they were just kind of random. Milton actually roasts Nick Lachey there, and it's like, oh, 98 Degrees came out before I was born. Which was shady, but it was funny. And then Johnny says, like, a Taylor Swift song. I don't know that one. Sorry. It's called The One, actually. Milton says 99 Problems, which I think was very fitting. Lydia said Crazy in Love, also very fitting. Stacy said Love Don't Cost a Thing, and that felt like purposefully ironic. It seemed self-aware. She is selling merch of the dad quote, the first class quote. I think maybe I mentioned it last stream. So I think she's really trying to lean into, even if it's like at her expense, like laughing at herself, leaning into that kind of elitist brand. I don't know. She's leaning in. I forgot what Izzy said as this song, but yeah, that was the reunion. I'm happy we did it together. It was fun. It was fun that y'all were chatting during it too a little bit. Showed me kind of the delay, and I was on the right track, and Netflix worked. Give it up to Netflix for working. The broadcast worked. Worked on time. Just had a little bit of internet hiccups here and there, but nothing too crazy. And yeah, we did it. It feels so like we've been through it this season. And yeah, season 5 ranks number 5. If you weren't here earlier in the stream, I said this might be my worst ranked season. Season 2 has moved up. Okay, internet is being spotty, so I need to start wrapping it up here. Which I am. So yeah, we'll be back. Sorry, I didn't mean to clap right in the mic. We'll be back for whatever next thing of Love is Blind comes out. I know at least Love is Blind UK season 1 drops early 2024. I don't think we have a date yet. So my current season ranking, I would say, is 1, 4, 3, 2, 5. That's my. I I almost want to put 4 first sometimes, just because it has so much going on. But like number 1 had like the truest form of the experiment, and I feel like that has to win. But sometimes I go back and forth on the top 2. I know some people really didn't like season 4, but I thought it had just like a little bit of everything. It had great heroes and great villains, and I feel like it was just very well rounded in that way. But yeah, I'll be playing the Love is Blind game next Thursday, and part 1, the audio is really low. I did not like that. But now I fixed the mic, I think for good. I know where the hidden setting is for the volume. So the next gaming stream, I think, will be at least a better VOD or just experience in general. So I'm glad about that. I'm going to play that next Thursday evening, so October 19th. But I know some people don't like gaming, so no pressure on that. It'll be available as well. I watch only a little bit of gaming streaming content, and I like to put it on like when I'm working. Unfortunately, I can't stream during like 9 to 5 work hours, but maybe someday. But yeah, at least the video is available after the stream, and you can just play it in the background, cozy vibes. And then after that, I'm not sure yet what I want to do on Golden Bachelor. I definitely want to make a regular video, and I'm just not sure if I'm going to do one like maybe halfway through the season and one at the end of the season, or one just at the end of the season and live stream. I don't know yet, but that's kind of the next piece of content I have my eye on and I'm watching currently. So that's kind of the plan. I don't know if y'all have other content suggestions. I don't have like a lot of big videos planned right now. Also, I was thinking like, should I do something for Christmas? You know, YouTubers always post like every day for Christmas. I don't think I can do that, but like, I don't think I have enough ideas to post that much for Christmas, but I'm thinking about it. So if you have ideas, you can just comment it on my videos or on the stream. Feel free. I don't know about this Married at First Sight show, like if it's a whole thing to get into, so I've never watched it or anything. But also I don't just do dating content. It can be kind of tiring. I kind of want to watch Vanderpump Rules, the last season that was so talked about. If y'all have guides on starting any Vanderpump Rules seasons, like can I just start at season 10? Can I start at another random season? Or does it have to be from the beginning? Or any Real Housewives season specifically? Because I'm not in that world either. But I liked Salt Lake City. That's the only one I've watched. So, I don't know. Just if y'all have thoughts on any of the shows I don't know about and guidance on like where to start, or because I don't really want to start from the beginning for these franchises that have like so much history. A lot of the time it feels like a big endeavor. Okay, they have recommendations. Okay, I'll look for the Vanderpump Rules recommendations out there. Because yeah, I'm watching Dancing with the Stars. That's a show I want to. No one watches, I feel like, but me. But the girl Ariana, her name is Ariana from Vanderpump Rules, is on the show. So I learned a little bit about that story, and I had heard about it from social media. And she's really good, actually, at the dancing part of all this. So I watched that. I'm also watching always like the Kardashians and the D'Amelio show. I really like the D'Amelio show. It's weird, I know. I might even make a video that no one will watch, but there's something so fascinating to me about all that. Anyway, just have things cooking, but not fully cooked. So if y'all have ideas, kind of now's the time, especially after Love is Blind. I kind of take a little break from regular videos to catch my breath. But yeah, as far as next stream, next Thursday, I'll schedule it on my channel. And thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for being here throughout the season and all your comments. It's been really fun. All the engagement, super fun. I appreciate y'all being here and watching with me. It's so nice. Yeah, I love reality TV, so I'm always watching lots of stuff. I watch Survivor, of course. Maybe for things like that, it'd be fun to do a stream like post finale of Survivor or something, even if people don't know me for that, just to talk, because I'm always like, I just want to talk to people about it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just throwing out stuff at this point. But yeah, let me know. And thanks for being here. I hope y'all have a good night. Hope you have a good week. Starting tomorrow. Yeah. Don't forget to like the stream and subscribe to the Miscellaneous channel for more. It really helps me out. Helps other people see the video. And for getting notified about future videos, future streams, you can follow me at Miscellaneous. On mostly Instagram is where I update now. That Twitter is kind of dead-ish. I still look at Twitter a lot, but I don't post on it very much. So I recommend just my Instagram for direct updates. And yeah, hope y'all have a good night. Thanks for being here. Is love blind? No, we see it every season. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.